This is one Cognos report with two pages. On the first page, we have a list with 2 columns, and on the second page, we have a list with 4 columns. We will use this report to import data into our Excel file. In this Excel file, I have already logged in to my Cognos, and I opened this panel on the right side. I will now double click on this report to import data from it. A new dialog will appear. Inside of this dialog, we can jump to these items with our mouse, or we can use this button, next, next, back, back, and so on. We cannot select these gray items, only these black ones. And when we open this dialog, we can immediately click on Finish. That means that we will accept default settings, but if we want to, we can change any of these settings to non-default value, and then at the end we can click on Finish. This time I will not change anything. I will leave it as it is because I want to show you this setting here, Ignore Page. So I will just click immediately on Finish, and our lists will be imported. We can see that they are on the same sheet, and if I go here to File, Print Preview, we will see that they are on the same page. I will now go back, and now I want to delete these 2 lists. But before that, I want to show you something. When we import something from Cognos, some things will be changed inside of Excel. For example, here in Home tab, we can see that we have new styles here that were imported from Cognos. And similarly, if we go here to Formulas and then to Name Manager, we will see new name ranges. Why is this important? Well, if I select this list and if I click on Delete on my keyboard, I will not properly delete this list. Instead of that, I should go to this tab here. I should right-click on my imported report, and I should choose Remove Report and Data. And this is the proper way to remove our report. I will again select this cell B3, and then I will again import our report. I will double-click here, and then I will select this other option, Insert Breaks Between Report Pages. This time, this text box here is also available, so we can change location of our list, for example, to cell P3. But for this second option, this cell will not work. Nothing will happen. This cell doesn't have any effect, but this setting here does have effect. So I will now click on Finish, and we will see that our list will be imported to cell B3, not to cell P3, but this time the change is in that now we have these horizontal lines, and those lines are page breaks. And if we now go to Print Preview, to here, we will see that we have one list on the first page and second list is on the second page. I will now go back, and again I will delete this imported report. So I will click here, Remove Report and Data. And now, because we have these page breaks, I will create a new sheet, and I will delete this previous sheet because I want to delete those page breaks. Again, I will select this cell B3, and again I will import this report. This time I will select this option, Create a New Worksheets, and I will now change this location. For example, instead of B3, I will select E3. When I click on OK, we will have 2 new sheets. Currently, we only have sheet 3, but if I click on OK, then immediately on Finish, we will have 2 new sheets. The names of sheets are the name of report plus the name of a page. On each sheet we have a list. So first list is on page 1 and second list is on the page 2. And the lists are placed inside of the cell E3. I will now again delete these 2 lists, and I will delete these 2 pages. And again I will select this cell B3. We will again insert our data. So I will go to our report. I will double click here. And first I want you to notice that here we can see the name of our report. And here we can type something. For example, I will type ZZZ. Beside that, I will change two more settings. I will go here and I will disable importing of page 2. So only first list will be imported. And for that list, I will click here and I will change this setting import as an Excel list. I will check this setting and I will click on finish. Now our list is imported. If we now go to this second tab, here we can see that the name of our import job is changed. Here we have letter ZZZ, so that is how we can name our import. Beside that, this import is now an Excel table. So what does it mean to something to be Excel table? Well, that means that we have used this tool here. And we have created a declared named table. A named table is something that is recognized by Excel as a table and that has its own name. If I click here inside of this table and if I click on Control A, I will select this whole table and we can see here that this table has a name. Its name is given by Excel. We can change it after, but currently this name is given by Excel and it is named Table 8. If we go here to Formulas and then to Name Manager, here we can see our named table, but beside that we can also see this named range. And they occupy the same space, so they both refer to this import, and the only difference is this. Here we can see a number 16 and here we can see a number 15. So table is up to row 15, this is row 15, but our named range also has this empty row below. I will now close this. And why is this important? Well, this is important if we want to create a pivot table based on this table. So if I click here inside of this table, if I go to Insert, and if I insert this pivot table, I will choose to place it inside of this worksheet. So I will place it here. And then I will use one of these two columns to create my pivot table. Now this pivot table is refreshable. So if I click here on refresh, this pivot table is refreshed. But let's say that I want to refresh data inside of this Cognos list. I will delete some of its content and then I will go to our add-on. I will click on refresh all data, refresh the data only, and our data will be refreshed. But now we have a problem. If we now select our table with Control A, we will see that now the name of this table is Table 9. And if I try to refresh this pivot table, this will not work because this pivot table is referencing Table 8 and not the Table 9. So we have to change that. So I will click here on Change Data Source, and instead of Table 8, I will use Table 9. So I will click on OK, and now it works. But this is a temporary solution. Next time, when we again refresh our data, our pivot table will not work again. So what we can do? Well, we can go here to Formulas, to Name Manager, and instead of using this Table 9, I will select this named range. I will click on Edit, and I will copy the name of this named range. And then I will use that named range as a data source for this pivot table. So now I will go here to Pivot Table Analyze to change data source, and here I will paste the name of my named range. I will click on OK. Here we can see that our blank row will appear, but this time refreshing will work. Again, I will delete some content of this Cognos list. I will refresh our Cognos data by using this button, Refresh All Data. Our data is refreshed, but our pivot table is still working. If I go here to Pivot Table Analyze and refresh, we can see that refreshing is working, because if we go to Formulas and then to Name Manager, this name hasn't changed. The name of a table changed again, but the name of this named range didn't change. And we just have to hide this blank line, and we can do that by using a slicer. So I will go again to this Pivot Table Analyze type. I will click on Insert Slicer. I will select Mon key, OK. I will filter out this blank item, and now we can hide our slicer. We can hide it somewhere where user cannot see it, and now our pivot table is refreshable, and we just have next time to refresh first the Cognos data and then to refresh our pivot.